All right, everybody. Bama made the adjustments. A lot of them in the second half. A&M, not as many. And the Aggies fall in this one 26-20 to the Crimson Tide. But Anais Smith did score, by the way, just so the referees, if they're listening. He definitely scored. Welcome into the TexAgs postgame wrap, brought to you by Higginbotham Insurance. You probably only think about insurance when you need it, but at Higginbotham, they think about your risk for you because they want you covered all year long. They start by listening and end with a custom solution that fits your needs and your budget. They do it all: home, health, business, employee insurance. Higginbotham's got you covered. Higginbotham is a place that leads with value so that your value leads. Call Tyler Smith, 979-871-3162, or visit higginbotham.com. Look, this one hurts because 12th man brought it. Kyle Field was lit. Bama was supposed to be down, and they'll still probably go 11-1. That's just the kind of team that they are. But I'm going to tell you, one of the things that A&M does so well that they were not able to do today was third downs. Now, overall, Bama was only 4 of 12 on third downs, but the 3 of those 4 were absolutely deadly for Texas A&M. 3rd and 15, they scored touchdown. 3rd and 9, they scored touchdown. 3rd and 7, ended the game with a chance to get the ball back with a minute left. Jalen Milroe somehow gets the ball off. I thought the dude was down. I saw it on the field. I didn't get to see the replay. Doesn't matter. They get the first down. 6 sacks for A&M, 5 for Bama. But here's the thing. A&M only got 1 in the second half, or maybe they got 2. 2, right? Yeah, they had 4. And you had Bama having 5 in the second half. Josh DeBerry struggling with Jermaine Burton, who had 197 yards of receiving yards. You're outscored 16-3 in the second half. You go for it early on in the game. Could have gotten 3 points there. It kind of changes the way you play, by the way. You don't get that. You have a field goal blocked. 6 points right there. You get a safety. 8 points right there. And the referees didn't help you out, but Bama did everything they had to do in the second half. They were the better team in the second half, even though I thought Anaya scored on that play. I saw the replay several times. Looked like his foot was above, but a waste of time. I know a lot of people are upset about the 4th and 1 punting when the game was tied at 17. So there's a lot to get into. The offense, A&M's offense, I know Bama's got a great defense, but A&M's offense regressed, and we're going to kind of break it all down with the panel, as we always do. Let's bring in Chris Taylor and Brandon Leone. I don't see Brandon in the back room anymore, so we'll start things off with CT. Oh, there's Brandon. CT, we'll start things off with you, man. You were telling me that the offense did struggle, but a lot of that today was on Max.
I thought there were some opportunities to make plays down the field. And I know that we're watching the game, and myself included, we're emotional people when it comes to watching these things. But if you look at it from a football standpoint, there were opportunities down the field. And, I know Bama had 5 sacks on the day. And, I think 2 or 3 of those, I think you put on Max, because instead of him taking his drop, back foot hits, ball comes out, he's holding the ball for whatever reason. Or, if he's running his RPO read and things like that. But the ball has to come out. I don't know that we really challenged Bama down the field. We took a couple of shots, but not like we've done in past games. And so, in my opinion, there's enough to go around. We struggled with getting off the field, like you said, on those key third downs. I thought we made Burton look like an All-American, like Julio Jones was playing at Bama again. And like you said, they made adjustments. We were not able to make those adjustments. We were, 3 and out, short drives and out. We couldn't run the football. We didn't dominate the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball. I thought defensively, the D-line controlled it, but we couldn't get to Milroe like we have in the previous couple of games. And so it is frustrating. And, because this is a game that we feel like we should have won. I think we played well enough to win. But I think the decision right before the half to be conservative, don't call a timeout with the minute 30 to go. You have the momentum. You've stopped them. You're going to get the ball back. They get it, coming out of the locker room. And instead of us calling the timeout, being a little bit more aggressive, we were happy with going into half being up 7. A team like Alabama, you have to thoroughly beat them. You have to put them away. And I think we left them around, especially at the end of the first half. if we go down and score, now we're up 14. That's a different ball game. We get the interception, but then give it right back. So there's enough blame to go around. Clock management, I mean, we could get into this thing a ton, but it's just disappointing. You're at home, you're playing a Bama team that's not supposed to be the Bama that we know, and we let one get away of one that we should have probably won by 2 scores.
We now bring in Brandon Leone. Brandon, got to ask you, man. You look like you've been stewing a little bit. What is your initial reaction?
Oh man, I'm honestly just sad. Like I'm not even mad anymore at this point. I think today you watch some of the football games around the country, and even despite the setback that we had in Miami, we had all talked about it. We still controlled our own destiny, and there's no doubt Alabama's still a great football team. But this is the worst football team that we've seen in the SEC since we've been there from Alabama. And so it's for sure the worst quarterback I think that they've had. He's a good player. Obviously, he put it to us today. But when you're looking the game as a fan and someone that kind of gets excited and stays, following it, you thought we had a good shot today. And so I'm not there. I'm in Fort Worth at my brother-in-law's house. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the game. My wife's in a wedding with her family, an Aggie sin, a fall wedding at Texas A&M. But I honestly, I'm just sad. I mean, like CT said, there's just so many missed opportunities. Even to start the game, you have 3rd and 1, you're driving down the score, you get stopped, then you go for it on 4th and 1, and you get stopped. And then you come back again, you settle for a field goal. It's like you see those things, those missed opportunities against great teams, that they come back to bite you. And so I just think about our program as a whole and all the things that are there, all the resources and our fans. I'm watching the stadium from afar. It looks amazing. And I think I'm just disappointed because we had a chance today to take another step. But, man, credit to Alabama, dude. They adjusted in the second half. We couldn't adjust to one receiver. He absolutely dominated us. And that was a tough loss, man. It just hurts. I imagine – a lot of our fellow Aggies can relate that it just hurts, man. It's really sad.
It does. Chris, let's go back to you. If Jalen Milroe throws for over 300 yards and Jermaine Burton just eats you up, I know that Tennessee doesn't have the offensive line that Bama has, although Bama doesn't have a great offensive line, is what we were told. What is Jermaine Burton going to do on those DBs? Excuse me, not Jermaine Burton. I'm sorry. Tennessee is going to do on the.
Yeah, I mean, and just scheme wise, Tennessee is already a matchup nightmare, and for whatever reason, we've not been able to solidify that second corner. I mean, you've got Chappelle on one side, but it's like a revolving door with DeBerry and Deuce Harmon. So I have no idea what's going on over there, but I thought today we looked scared on the outside. I mean, we're giving a cushion of 9-10 yards. Even when we're up and trying to give a different look, we bail out at the snap. And I mean, being in off coverage and you still let guys run by you, it's crazy to me. So, I mean, this is why we play the game. You've got 7 days or 6 days to prepare to put a game plan in to kind of to try to really play to their strengths and limit what the big plays that Tennessee can bring. But not a lot of confidence when you watch what unfolded today. Jalen Milroe, 300 yards. And, this guy from Tennessee, he's almost an identical quarterback. So it's going to be interesting. But I know that defensively we got our work cut out. I think Edgerrin Cooper, and I want to say this, man, I think that guy played lights out today. He was all over the field. He played fast. That guy had a game. I can play. I would line up next to him anytime and play because just the intensity and how hard he plays. But I think on that back end, we've got to shore some things up and get some people in there that are not afraid to go and make plays and that have a short memory. And so it's going to be interesting. We'll see. Durkin has his work cut out, though.
Brandon, this is an emotional reaction here, so bear with me for a moment. But explain to me how you've got the offense fixed. You've got your coordinator. You are using a backup quarterback as you've done the last couple of years. Yet offensively, and I don't have the numbers all in front of me, this is the worst of the 3 years against Bama. At least it feels that way. Maybe immediately after, but they scored 41 points against them a couple years ago here. Last year, that game comes down to the wire. I felt like the offense moved much more in the second half than they did in this one. Just overall, you have everything in place to do it, and you couldn't move the ball. Are you seeing some things on offense that are worrying you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the concerning thing was when you get to play these teams with the roster talent is kind of equal to ours, the Alabamas, the Georgias, some of these other teams. You wondered, I think, from the beginning, how's our O-line adjust, or how does our O-line match up? And today, I think, the coaches made adjustments in the second half for Alabama. And, man, their defensive line, they ate us up. Max held on to the football a long time. I agree with CT. There's some things he might have done or didn't do that hurt a little bit. But, man, the O-line, there was a series of play in the fourth quarter where I don't know if Bryce Foster tripped. I think he tripped falling backwards, but then the left guard is Naboo, 54, just got bulldozed. And so you're just watching our guys on their backs as our quarterback's on his back, and all their guys are coming forward, and you think, we got work to do at that position. So yeah, the O-line concerns me, and I agree with CT. I think the boundary side for corner for us, or whatever side 28 and Deuce are on, we got to shore that up. Man, you're watching that 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 15, whatever touchdown it was, where Burton caught the kind of shallow post across the middle with 3 people missed the tackle. He scored 33, the safety. And we've already been getting baptized by Burton all game. He's 15 yards off the field, or off the line of scrimmage. The middle of the field is wide open. I sit there. I said, okay, here it goes. Burton, either slant or a quick post, touchdown, and it happened. And so it just make adjustments. I don't know what we were doing on that side, but if you know that you have a liability, you got to kind of adjust. You got to change the game plan, because that was the one area where they were just gushing us. And then just, man, that last play, Nuño, I know you haven't seen it yet. You were on the field. When Alito, Texas kid, catches the ball, I mean, it's like this far from the ground. He scoops it up. I thought we had a shot. He scoops it up and gets the first down. That was just like the dagger. That hurt so bad. So, yeah, I'm just I don't know. I was surprised the offense struggled today, but I also knew that these were the best athletes they would have faced all year. And so I expected it to be a tougher game for the offense for sure. But missed a lot of opportunities, man. Just a huge missed opportunity today.
CT, I got the numbers in front of me, and they're not that different, but just, they scored 41 points in 2021 on 379 total yards. Last year, they lost 24-20 in Tuscaloosa. They had 323 yards of total offense against Alabama, and today 306 yards. What did you see from – because, by the way, we saw a lot of that in the first half versus Miami. The offense felt very stagnant.
Yeah, no, but I think what is not said in those numbers, I think I saw the stat, we had like 54 yards in the entire second half. And so, that's to my point that we have the momentum, we're moving the ball, we're doing things, we're just not finishing enough drives. You've got the momentum, go into halftime up 2 scores, and not take a knee. And when I heard Jimbo say, we want to go in, we don't want to make a mistake, and something happened. Well, again, this Alabama is a team that you have to beat. I didn't love our game management down when we think Anais gets in. When you miss on 1st and 2nd down, kick the field goal. That saves us a minute right there. We keep our 3rd timeout. We're able to call timeout, and we don't run off those 40 seconds. And so there are just so many different areas that you can point and say, well, this caused this to happen and that caused that to happen. I just think, like I said, there's enough credit to go around for, whether it's us not playing well in the secondary, us missing blocks and things up front, Max missing reads, game management, not making adjustments. There's enough. But like Brandon said, there are so many missed this was an opportunity to get back on the national stage, to take sole control. You're in first place in the SEC West, and you have an opportunity to have the inside track to get to Atlanta, and we didn't seize that opportunity. And that's unfortunate, because this game was set up for us to be able to do that. And we probably faced, like Brandon said, the worst Alabama team since we've been in the SEC, and we didn't take advantage of it today.
Brandon, again, I watched the replay from the field. You guys got the benefit of the television. Did Anais score on that play? Because it sure looked like to me his foot was hovering above the out. Was he out of bounds?
He was out.
It's his toe. I mean, and when I tell you again, it's this is why it's like the old Al Pacino, you get the game of inches. I mean, right? Like the guy scooping He scooped the ball up McClellan. It looked incomplete when he first got the first down, but then Anias, game speed, looked like a touchdown. They slowed it down, and his toe, I mean, for a half a millisecond, it dragged the grass. And so I was like, goodness gracious, man. And so you just think that every single play is so important. Here's what bothers me, Nuno. Hold on, my little boy's right here. Hold on, mister. Hold on. I think I think the thing that's frustrating is we're not Alabama. We're just not there. And you guys have both touched on like the playing conservative. CT, I love that. This is a chance to take a leap, and Jimbo's talking about we don't want to make a mistake. Dude, you don't get great by playing safe and being conservative. People become great by taking risks, by putting it all on the line, by kind of dropping your you-know-what and going for it. And today, I know we kicked the field goal, and that made sense at the end, but why do you call timeout? Have the field goal team ready to go, knowing the situation game. Run out there, kick a field goal, keep your 3 timeouts. We got all the momentum in the game in the first half. You got, 40-something seconds, CT? 50 seconds left?
Minute and a half.
A minute and a half?
When their play ended, there was a minute and a half, and we did not take a timeout.
Listen, man, I get it. You have the lead, you have momentum, but put your foot down, dude. Go be great. I'm so tired of watching us sit back and hope everything plays out the way that the script says it should. Go write your own script. Go win and go be great. And this conservative, this fearful punting from 4th and 1 inside their territory, then we get to touchback. What do you gain on the hidden yard? You get 20 yards. It's unbelievable. And then the game is not all on Jimbo. This is a complete total loss as a team today. There's no doubt about that. But this idea that like, oh, let's play it safe. I'm like, no, we have to take that step. You got to go earn it. Nothing's going to be given to us. And so when you're watching it as a fan and even as a former player, I think you just get frustrated when you taste blood in the water, right? You're like, we got momentum. We got 90 seconds left. Go score. Go make it a 2-possession game. Go get a field goal. Go do something. But to just be like, it's okay. Like we're up 7. We're at home. We got the 12th man on our side. Like everything's okay. No, go win. And so I think that's what hurts today. It's like it's a loss. They're a great team. But I thought that this was an opportunity for Texas A&M football program, for Jimbo Fisher, right, to kind of come back. And I think you took a big step back today. I've not lost hope in the season, but man, today hurt. It just hurt.
Well, I'm going to come back to that. You haven't lost hope because I think it does set up what next week could be the season, right? Like, the kind of season we're talking about having, you lose that one on the road. Now that, that 9-win, you're getting back to what you were trying to not be, an 8-4, 9-3 type of team. You were trying to be elite, but we'll get to that here in a moment. Let's talk about the huge interception from Max after Bryce Anderson gets. Look, interceptions happen sometimes, but that one, just like to give them the ball back basically at the exact same place that they had. You had a golden opportunity to put your foot on their freaking throat. And that was a costly one. And he was thrown, by the way, he was thrown off his back foot a lot, CT. I don't know why they didn't roll him out more. I felt like he was a sitting duck after a while. Just your thoughts on that pick and then not rolling out Max a little bit more.
It's hard to get anything on a football when you are, you're constantly drifting backwards and you're throwing off your back foot. I think he took a shot towards the end of the first half that maybe shook him a little bit, but yeah, to your point, Nuno, you've got to get him off the spot. I love the play action, and you half rolled him, and that was the big play that you hit back across the field to his brother Johnson. And so those were some of the plays that we needed to have happen. And when you saw that, and I love Chase, but is it Bacentis? I love him to death. I think he's going to be a heck of a football player for us. It's just Alabama had heard so much about A&M's pass rush and what we were going to do and how we've gotten to the quarterback that they made it a personal mission. Those defensive ends, I think it was 15 and 41 or somebody like that. Those guys were tired of hearing about it, and they were going to make a statement in this game. So to be able to get him off the spot, to roll him, one thing that I'm wondering is, where is our screen game? Do we not have a screen game? You've got dynamic backs. You've got guys like Anias and Evan Stewart. I don't know that we've run any kind of screens. You can slow that pass rush down by, using their momentum against them and then getting the ball out and make an easy play. So I don't know. again, there's a lot of things that are not clear, with today's game, but we got another opportunity. I mean, that's one loss in the conference. We went out. I think that we get in. There's still that big game, Alabama, LSU. Alabama still has a road to go. So we just have to take care of our business, win out, and I think we get ourselves to Atlanta.
Brandon, let me do one thing before we get some thoughts heading into the Tennessee game. Let's go over some of the mistakes, not mistakes, but points that you left out there. Because on a day that your offense couldn't really get anything going against Bama's defense, you go for it on the 4th and 1 or 2, the opening drive. I wasn't mad at going for it. I liked to go for it. I didn't like that play. I would have rather gotten 3 than that play, to be honest with you. You had that. You had the block field goal. Okay, that's 6 points right there. You got the safety, right? Like, those are 8 points. I'm not saying you get those back and you win the game, but in a game that every possession matters, those are 3 areas, 8 points that you could have gotten that you did not get.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, those are those plays in big time games where conference championships are decided, where teams, the pecking order of who's elite, those are the type of plays that hurt you. And even trying to think of the play, I was like, oh, here's the thing I was going to tell you: the kick, the onside. You got 2 minutes left with 2 timeouts. Why are you kicking the onside? That was another decision that was questionable. But yeah, the safety hurt really bad. Again, it was O-line kind of just getting cooked. Like CT said, it seemed like Alabama played with a different type of intensity today than we've seen from them. But yeah, going back to the thing you said, Nuño, honestly, I'm sorry this is backtracking, but the play to me that changed everything was that pick that Max threw. That was tough, dude. That was because then Bryce got that pick. We got momentum back even after the conservative play at the end of the half. Maybe we go down and score, but that hurt us. But I'm frazzled right now. I'm sorry, my mind's thinking. I'm looking at the stats earlier before we got on here, and they had 10 more penalties than us. We won the turnover battle. We held Alabama to less than 350 total yards. Those things happen, man, and you think you're winning the football game. And so it just my mind is just kind of shook. I'm sure you could tell. Just thinking of all the what ifs, the could haves, the should haves, and I just am like pissed off because we're 3-2, and we could be 4-1 with sole possession of the West. And now it's just another one of those games where we're all pissed off at each other, and the fans are, Nuño's this and CT's that and Jimbo's this, and it's like we're all just pissed. We're all just sad. We all want to win that dang football game, and we all felt like this was the year. Everybody did. The national media, all the talking heads that usually don't really give us any love. That's what was making me nervous this week. Was like, they're all giving us love, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to go lose a heartbreaker and be pissed. And here we are, pissed off and sad about that. But what's up with Tennessee, man?
Well, A&M 4-2, by the way, on the year. It's just
4-2.
So let's talk about it, guys. And TT, you start us off. Both of you guys get a shot here. Tennessee, a team that can throw, a team that has given up a bunch of sacks. I forgot what the number is. I think they've given up 22 sacks, so they're on a bye this week. But a team that can throw deep on you, and an offense that can absolutely move. Let's talk about how huge that game is for Texas A&M. CT.
I think this game is your season. If you're wanting to still get to 10-2, you have to win this football game. And I think Tennessee, looking at who they are and who their coach is, and crazy part is I played against Josh Heupel, and I mean, he came from this system. He knows this system. And so, when you look at this game, the two teams that have given us the most problems, Alabama through the air, Miami through the air, it's the strength of the team that we're about to play. So, like I said, there's a lot of work to be done. We've got our work cut out on the back end. I still, the kid from North Carolina, I want to know what happened to him. I mean, we were bringing him in. Everybody was so excited, and we've yet to see him this year. So, would like to learn more about what's going on the back end. Is there nobody else besides DeBerry and Deuce Harmon? Those are some of those questions. But I think if we can get to the quarterback and be able to call this, you don't have to get to him. Just get around him and make him uncomfortable. I think Alabama did a great job today. And if we can't generate that pressure against Tennessee and what they love to do, it could be a long day. Knoxville's not easy to play in. So, hopefully we get our business together, but we've got to take this game, take this step this week, because if we don't win this one, there is nothing else that really comes into play as far as if we're wanting to get to Atlanta and be able to play for an SEC championship game. So big week this week. I think they're all big from here on out, but I think next week is our season.
Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with the loss today and the loss to Miami, every game that's next on the schedule is the biggest week of the season. Because if you lose this one or the next one, the one after that, it's just another wasted season. So you have to win out for this season to be anything that is meaningful as a football program. But Tennessee, man, they make me a little bit nervous, Nuno. I mean, they've scored 40-plus points in 3 of their games. They handled South Carolina pretty good, handled Virginia good. I mean, they laid an egg against Florida. That was surprising to see this year. I was surprised by that, but beat a pretty sound UTSA football team. They're coming off a bye week. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be rested, and they got some talented skill players and a dynamic quarterback, just like what we face this week. I would say he's probably a better player than Milroe, so that makes me a little nervous because we made Milroe look like he should be in New York or wherever at the end of the year. So, it's going to be a big week, man. It really is, and I'll be so impressed. I'll be so happy if we head to Knoxville win this football game next week, because then I think the team will have some confidence back. And again, after that, right, CT, I mean, it's 1 week at a time. You can't afford another loss as a program this football season. That's, I mean, my personal opinion. This far in the game, in the Jimbo tenure, you got to go and do it, because there's no roster left on our schedule. Maybe LSU, that has the talent that we have. And so sometime, some way, that formula has to add to 10 wins. It has to. It has to happen eventually.
Well, here's the thing, guys. Tennessee can throw. Ole Miss can throw. LSU's got the talent. So if not, what are we doing here, right? We're just Arkansas, Mississippi State, just taking turns being 7 and 8 win teams. So
correct. We're better than that, dude. We are better than that. And our university deserves better than that. And I believe, without a doubt, that this football team is talented enough to be better than that. And so, listen, man, I believe in these dudes. I believe that they can do it. But, I mean, y'all know we're all grown men. Like, it's a production-based system. Like, go produce, go win football games. This isn't personal. This isn't like we're all just sad. We all want to see this team. 110,000 people showed up today in College Station, Texas, and the entire country was watching for us to go win a freaking football game we should have won. We didn't. And so now you're 0-0 next week. You got to go do it in Knoxville, Tennessee, beat the hell out of the Volunteers, and get back on track.
Brandon, CT, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week from Knoxville. See you guys. All right. So, again, what I started the show with, I'll close the show with. Bama had the better second half. They had the game plan, a game that you were in control of in the first half. It's a 4-quarter game. Bama made the adjustments. Bama's defense got after Max Johnson in the second half, and their offense did enough. And they did more than enough. I mean, Jalen Milroe having the game of his life. Even though you won the turnover battle, Jalen Milroe destroys you. Jermaine Burton destroyed you, 9 catches. And by the way, Isaiah Bond destroyed you, 96 yards receiving on 7 catches. They just continued to go after those DBs, and they made the adjustments that A&M was not able to do. All right, so we'll do a Luchador podcast tomorrow with Billy, and then on Monday we'll go back at it on TexAgs Radio. So that's going to do it here for the TexAgs postgame wrap brought to you by Higginbotham Insurance. We'll see you tomorrow.